Hi guys, this is Lorraine Brock with Get Organized, and we are doing our Tip Tuesday from Austria. And have lots of exciting tips and organizational ideas for you guys today. But first, let me introduce to you my husband, Keith Brock.
Hi guys.
And this is his first Facebook Live, isn't it?
This would be my first one, yes.
First.
Total nublet.
So this is first.
Just
so
first one.
First one. And he's going to be helping me out today while we're talking about all kinds of tips travel-wise. So as you can see behind us, I'm going to try to move the camera. These are, do you have any idea what the names of these are? They're beautiful. We're actually in the city of House, Austria. And what else have we done? Today we went up to Salzburg, Austria, about an hour away. And we actually were going to go see Hitler's Nest.
Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest, where Hitler...
But it was closed.
We were denied. We were denied. It was closed. So instead we went to go see a castle. And it was awesome. And we got to get like big pretzels, which we haven't eaten yet, but big pretzels that were chocolate, and it was very good.
Yeah, it's all about the food.
All about the food, apparently. So we've also, what else have we done? We've gone up into the mountains.
Yes.
Went to a salt mine.
Salt mine.
And what else? There's more stuff. I can't remember.
Ton of sightseeing.
Ton of sightseeing. They where was that town we went to that was like 7,000 years old?
That would be
Hallstatt. And then we went to a salt mine there, and it was absolutely beautiful. Actually, the town is like 7,000, or the village is like 7,000 years old, and so.
In the salt mine there.
Oh, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're excited. We have some friends we're staying with here, and so on our, journey to get organized to get here, there was a lot to take care of and to get done. And so I want to give you 3 tips on some travel. Now, granted, there's different types of travel. You can travel locally for an overnight stay, or you can even travel for a week within the U.S. or even internationally. So different tips are going to work for different types of travel that you're going to be doing. But our first tip today is our travel battery. I call it a travel battery, or you call it a brick.
Yep.
And I'm going to let my husband talk about this, but let me explain that this is actually a little heavy, and I do normally keep it in my purse with me, even when I'm not traveling. But especially when you're traveling, when maybe you don't have access to an outlet, or you're going to be, on the plane and elsewhere for a lengthy period of time. These are really good.
Older plane that doesn't have AC outlets.
Yeah.
Not that that's never happened to us.
Yeah, it did. Actually, the airport didn't even have many outlets. We were like traveling for 30 hours approximately.
Something like that.
And we could barely find any outlets. And the plane that we were on had no outlet whatsoever.
None.
Actually, didn't even have AC, I don't think, did it?
Yeah, it was wild.
It was wild. But the food was good. I like the food.
It's pretty good.
So the outlet, this is really good for keeping extra energy and charges for your phone. And so because my husband is all thing IT and tech, I'm going to let him sort of talk about what to look for, about the price point, and sort of what you need to buy and where you need to buy them. So there you go.
Okay. So as Lorraine talked about, ultimately you can call these things or find these things anywhere from probably a low of $20 to as much as $120.
And I think we paid for this one. I think we paid around $60.
About $60, probably middle of the road, which was kind of flagshipish for that time. This one's a couple years old now. But one of the things to look at, Jackery is a really good manufacturer of these. But ultimately, what you're wanting to look at are a couple things, and she's going to show you right here.
I know it's backwards, but you'll get the idea.
Yeah. So what I want you to see here ultimately is you're going to look at capacity of your brick or your external power, and ultimately you'll usually see some kind of a rating. You can see it kind of like right there, right? It's going to be in amps. And so this one happens to be a milliamps. This one happens to be 18,000 milliamps, which is a pretty beefy one, but they'll make them north of 20,000 milliamps now. But ultimately you're looking at ports. So you're looking at the ports, the number of ports you have right here, and the amperage, the ultimate total capacity. And we've got spectators above.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Spectators above. So, some kind of military helicopter, I think.
I don't know if that was in the shot or not.
But
that looked really
we
cool.
are legally here, so that's important.
No worries, no worries. And so ultimately this one is a 2-port, and you'll notice right here, today's newer models, once again, they're going to be 20,000 north of that, and they'll be anywhere from starting 2-port to maybe 3-port, 4-port, maybe even 5-port. And why that is important, or what's it matter, is usually now these are becoming far more than just used for phones, or just used for, oh my gosh, my phone's about to die, to our same point, right? I can't get to an outlet anywhere to get any kind of battery backup, or any kind of power to it, and I need battery backup, and this sustains that phone, that device for a long time. Now it's getting into the point where these have the capacity, the power, and the ports to be able to drive pretty much any electronic device. I mean, we're talking anything, once again, as pedestrian as a smartphone, or all the way up to more robust devices like your tablets, your iPad Pros, Surface Pro 4s, Pro 5, 6s, all that kind of good stuff. Even into, you can even get these where they will even support power into a notebook. And so that's what we mean by your mileage will vary based on what you're looking for, and why they can be as cheap as $20 or as much as $120, maybe even north of that. It's what kind of capacity they have and the ports. And just real quick before I finish up, the ports really matter is because it's not only the type of cabling into the actual device, but it's really the load that cable can handle, that actual port can handle. So once again, if we're kind of shifting from that smartphone and we're going more up to tablets or even small form 13-inch, 15-inch notebooks, something like that, you want the ability to for a port to have that kind of draw, to be able to draw that kind of power from the actual port. And that's where you'll see we have those various ports. So once again, if that's the type of all-in-one power device that you want to be able to control a myriad of devices if you have them, you're going to look more of the 3-4 ports, more of the 80, 90, north of $100 range. And if you want something just to be able to bail you out in case you can't get that smartphone, any kind of juice, anything sub 60 will probably take care of you just fine.
Now, I remember one year that I think I got all my organizing team one of these. We ordered a whole lot
for Christmas,
and a couple of the organizers gave me some feedback quite quickly, actually, that this particular one charged their phone like 50%. Let's say your phone was completely dead, it charged it like 50% within like 5 minutes. I mean, it was fast.
Now, what you're looking for there is what's called a QC port. So if you're looking at any of the verbiage for whatever device that you're wanting to ultimately go with, make sure it has what's called QC, and that stands for quick charge, to Lorraine's point. And usually that's what's called a USB Type-C. I don't want to get overly technical, but what that allows it to do is also actually power this device itself. So it's both ways. It's bi-directional. So it's one thing to say, hey, I want this to charge my electronic device as expeditiously as possible. It's the other thing to say, hey, now this guy's dying and I need it to get charged as expeditiously as possible. So usually your more nicer ones, your more expensive ones are going to handle USB Type-C, and that's the reason for that. They'll usually be the QC ports, and they'll usually be able to charge other devices. We're talking, sub 15 minutes. That's what we mean when we talk QC, right? Quick charge, or even have it self-charge.
He's techie. Can you tell?
Sorry about that. Just for the tech people out there, you probably appreciate a little bit more technical nuance.
Okay, well, I have some more things to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the other thing is, we got a lower end one of these for our boys, and they were in their early 20s when we got them for Christmas, and they did not ask for them.
It was a stocking stuffer.
No, it wasn't. It was actually a gift.
It was an actual gift.
Yeah, he doesn't shop for Christmas. Can you tell?
That is so wrong.
And I know my daughter-in-law is watching right now,
No
so
love.
you don't say anything because
No
she'll
love.
figure it out what we're getting her. And it's not one of these. So anyway, so I say that because they were like, what is this thing? They were like, I didn't ask for this. It's just this black thing. And
This rectangle.
This rectangle thing. And when they got it, we had to explain it to them. And they still didn't really think it was...
Give it a month.
Give it a month.
And all of a sudden, they were singing our praises.
You'll see them walking around the house with it because they don't want to. They want to keep their phone in their hands when they're actually, around the house. And of course, they haven't done much traveling yet at all. But I just want to tell you, it's a great, great thing. And so another thing too is often you'll see the lower ends of these given out like at home shows or like what do you call it when you get a company bling or swag company swag stuff we all get. So and those would be
real small. I mean, we're talking like 1800 milliamp.
And they're not going to charge.
We need some more zeros on the end of that.
Yeah,
right?
zero like
we're
watts.
talking 18,000, 19, 20,000 north of that.
Yeah.
If you get free ones.
I mean, they're good to keep, but
they're cute, right? They're cute.
They're cute.
Nothing wrong with that.
The other thing is, as a girl, my boys sometimes kept this in their pocket or took it with them in their car, but I actually keep mine in my purse like all the time, even if I'm not traveling. Which that also means I keep the cords.
Yep.
All the charging cords with this. So, and everyone knows if they've ever seen me, I travel wherever I go, even if it's locally. So I keep everything. Try to always be organized because the best defense against chaos is preparation. So if I'm prepared, then I'm not going to have a lot of chaos in my life. So anyway, just a couple tips on these of how I've used them. I know that some of the people that I know that have one of these, like, I left it at home or I left it in my car. Well, it does you no good. So I have just purposely designed my handbag to be able to fit this in the cords, and I actually have a little special pouch that they stay in. So anyway, just tip number one. Anything else?
I love what you said about the cabling, right? Have extra cables because you're going to have any type of device that's going to be using maybe a traditional USB Type A. You might have those that are micro USB. You might have them that are Type C. I mean, they're just your devices are going to range from all type of interconnects, and so having just a bag of cables will really help you
label your
out
cables. Hey,
for the non-technical ones.
That rhymed. Label your cables.
Just saying.
So, and what I do is I just make a little label from a hand label maker and just wrap it around. But there's other ways you can do it. Right. But we've lost our cables not only, mainly to other people in the family that just...
5-finger discounts.
And, 5-finger discounts. What's that? Bam.
It's gone.
It's
like
gone.
That's just like that.
That's like 5-finger freebies. There's no discounts if you got to pay for something.
Well, they didn't have to pay. That was the whole point.
Okay. Tip number 2. Okay, so it's a simple tip, but I've really found this was really good, and it really came into play when we had all 3 of our boys at home and we were traveling. So one of the things that we did early on when we were traveling, and I think it started on cruises, is that we had to have our passports. And when you're trying to grab your passport and you're funneling through for the actual picture...
To match the person holding it.
To match the person, and you're like, people are behind you, and they're all waiting for you to get through, or the custom guys like going, are these really people for real? I mean, they really coming in here. So anyway, what I did, a real quick tip, is to use your label maker and put your names on your passports. This is a really good tip. So if one person's in charge of keeping the passport, which I actually would
be you,
would be me, but I don't keep tickets.
No. Only during traveling to the destination. When we're at the destination, they're mine.
No, they're not. I've had them the whole time.
Keeper. I'm the keeper.
No, you're not. Obviously, he needs to get organized.
I mean, are they going to try to take them from her or me?
No.
When a thug nasty comes around the corner, who's he going to try to take them from?
Anyway, we'll go on to the next subject. Same subject, just... We're going to move forward.
We're moving on.
Okay. So write your names on your passports. So when you're handing out passports and you're having to get through places quickly, you can identify whose is whose. The other thing is, because I use one of these little envelopes to keep all my travel plans in, like, my plane stuff and all that. And It's see-through. I love it. It has a little zipper up here. So I keep my passports inside of this unless I need them. But what I do is I also take the passports and I actually copy them, and I put the copy of the passport in our luggage, and I don't put them in the same luggage. So I put them in different, his luggage, he has his own suitcase, and I have my own. So that way, if we lose our passport, at least they can verify identity by using that information and get us one a lot quicker versus having a lot of drama. So I don't keep the copy of the passport in here. I keep the originals separated from the copies. So hopefully I'll never have to use the copies, but it's always a good idea to be able to copy those. And you can even take those copies and keep a copy in your file cabinet in case you ever lost your passport and you're at home. I mean, like, paper clutter galore and you can't find your passport. So
we don't have that at our house.
We don't have that. We don't have paper clutter. So anyway, that was tip number 2. So tip number 3 is just a real simple create. Well, let me just say this. When most people are actually getting ready to go on a trip, they make lists of things they need to pack. Everything from, like this time I had to buy hiking shoes. Can you tell why I have to buy hiking shoes? The soles are already warm. Seriously. Hiking shoes. I bought snacks for on the plane in case there was something that we didn't like and we would have snacks with us. I got a water thermos so I could be out. I mean, just different things. And then there's the things that you would normally use, socks, underwear, shoes, jackets, or vests. So instead of labeling or writing a list of that every time you need to go somewhere, create a master list for different types of travel. For example, I have one for also for camping. And the camping has a list of, I think there's 3 categories. There's hygiene, camping supplies, and food. Yep. So every time that we're going on a particular style of trip, I actually go to that Word document and just create that. So this time I check it off. I don't have to try to remember. And I may not pick everything on that list as something that I need, but at least I'm filtering it through my mind and thinking, do I need that or do I not? So I would suggest creating master lists for different types of travel, including international. And this was a first for me. We haven't traveled international in a while, like maybe 10 years. No, I don't know.
Half of that.
So my list is going to continue. What?
Nothing.
Okay. My list is going to actually get put in a Word document when we return and continue to add things to that because I'm learning of things that I need over here that maybe I didn't pack or things that I thought of when I was traveling. So I think it's a really good, just create a file on your computer called Master List, and inside that file, create subfolders for different types of things. I mean, you can have master lists for even what's in your attic. But to be honest with you, particularly about travel, I think depending if you want to travel for the weekend, for summer, or a weekend for winter, or if you're going to go up north, for like a winter trip or a summer trip or a beach trip, you can have all, and create these as you need them. I wouldn't go in there and spend any time until you actually need them. But that would be a really good way to stay organized and have a master checkoff list. You just check off every time you need to go somewhere for that particular style of trip. So, anything you want to add to that? Anything?
I love them.
You like them? Okay.
I personally absolutely love that she's created those and is the keeper of those and maintained those, because when we're prepping for travel, to Lorraine's point, it doesn't matter what kind of, even if it's an RV trip, I mean, just hit the check boxes.
It's actually a great
stress-free,
great master list if you take any kind of RV trips versus a camping trip, because you would take different supplies.
Yep.
So,
love
very good. Okay, so what we're giving away, actually, we're going to give away between now and next time we do, so next Monday.
It's going to be good.
How do you know? You don't even know it.
Because it's your stuff, and I know how good your stuff is.
Okay, so between now and next Monday, okay, by midnight, anyone who makes a comment down below will get put into a drawing, and we're going to give away a 1-hour free phone consultation with myself. And basically what that looks like, that normally is a paid thing that we do for our clients, a paid consultation. And so what we're going to do is you'll be able to set a date where we both can talk over the phone, and you'll get to submit to me photos or your hot spots or areas of that you're dealing with in your home, or maybe it's some time management. Maybe it has nothing to do with your physical spaces, but you need some help getting control of your time. Christmas is coming up. Maybe you need some ideas for Christmas organization. I mean, I've got tons of ideas for you on any topic. So we're going to give that away. So if you make a comment down below, you'll be put into that drawing, and one person will win that phone consultation with me. And we'll probably schedule that time we get back into the States. We'll schedule that probably sometimes first part of November. So make sure you make a comment. Let me know what travel tip you like the best. It's probably going to be yours because yours is so techy. But
well, you know, so, I can tell.
So I wasn't able to get on the plane and pack in my suitcase with that white box we call our Tip Tuesday tool. We have a tool.
Yeah, that didn't make the trip to Austria with us.
Make the trip to Austria. There was actually no room in the suitcase. And even if there was, I think it would have been crushed.
It's a big box.
It was a big box. So anyway, we did not have that box. And so what I thought I'd give you something that didn't take up a lot of space was recommending an app for you on your phones that you can be organized with. So recently we did a show for Mistletoe Market in Oklahoma, and when the ladies were passing by our booth doing some shopping and inquiring about our services, we got to talking about all the little gift cards that you get, or the frequent store cards, the reward cards that you get, like a Kroger card, or I don't know, movie cards, right? So anything that has a barcode on the back of a card or a physical number, you can use this app. So the app is called Keyring, and I don't think you have it because you don't do any rewards programs.
Well, because it's all about you. You got to know your role, and that's not my role.
I guess I do all the shopping.
It's Lorraine's.
It's mine. So
she's amazing at it.
So
I acquiesce.
She acquiesces. It's a big word. Okay, I don't know how to spell that word. It's a big word.
It's not that big.
It's a big word.
It's not.
App.
And continuing.
Okay, and continuing. So anyway, what I do is download the app called Keyring. And Keyring is basically an app where you can take a, like I said, a card, or it be a gift card, not a gift card, but a frequent store card or reward card. And it takes the picture of that barcode, and it takes that information and puts it into the app. So it alphabetizes all the stores that you go to. So if I'm going to IKEA, I go, and we don't call it IKEA here. They call it, there's an IKEA here. IKEA, maybe.
No.
No, but they don't call it that here.
Right. They pronounce it me.
Dana just said, Keith, don't make her spell big words. Listen, I have to say that I am outstanding at organizing, but we all have strengths, right? So
and weaknesses.
And weaknesses, and
yours would be
mine is spelling.
Spelling. That's it. Nothing else. Bulletproof.
No.
Kevlar vest.
No, I've got more.
Right, but spelling is
Don't
to Dana's point.
And just so you know, Dana, we're in a place that doesn't even go by the rules of the American alphabet or phonics.
So you can imagine Lorraine this week, Dana.
And the words are like this. They're like this.
27 letters.
27 letters in a
Lorraine
word.
stopped at 4. Guesses at the rest.
Yeah. Hey, but I am experiencing it. I love it. So,
we're on an adventure.
What was I talking about?
IKEA.
So the card app, yes. So if you take a picture of that with a barcode, it actually puts it into the app. And if not, you can manually type the number into the app. And you can get rid of all that card clutter in your purse or your wallet. So I really, really like that. Now, it's not going to eliminate any of those punch cards, like if you get oil fill-ups and you get like 10 punches, you get a free oil change. It's not going to eliminate that. But it's definitely going to be able to eliminate some of that wallet clutter in your purse, or obviously even a man's wallet. So it's a really great app. You don't have an example here, but basically you just pull up the app, get to the store you want, and then you let the people at the checkout register just scan the barcode, and it's really simple. Now, you'll say, well, Lorraine, I can use a phone number. Well, stores like IKEA they don't use your phone number to look up your frequent rewards number. So keep that in mind. And also your phone number may change over the course of your lifetime. So, you know, instead of going back and trying to update all those reward programs, if you have an app with everything, it really, really does stay organized. So that is my organizational tip product for this Tip Tuesday. You like it?
Love it.
But you don't use it. Okay, anyway.
Know your role.
Know your role. Okay, so next week on Tip Tuesday, we're going to be talking about guest room essentials. So basically organization for your room, the things that I think you need to have that make a big impact on keeping your guests comfortable and organized when they're staying in your home. So make sure you tune in next Tip Tuesday.
Don't say anything, Dana.
I can spell it. So anyway, lastly, let's talk a little bit more about our Australia trip.
But we're in Austria. You want to talk about that instead? This is what I've been living with.
I don't know where I'm at. Okay, so
Austria.
we're in Austria.
There are no kangaroos.
There are no kangaroos. In fact, the people that we're staying with, they said they're going to buy me a T-shirt that has a kangaroo and it's like slashed out. And I tried so hard to remember the right word before I said it.
You were so close.
I need to get my
You had the
T-shirt.
os right.
So anyway,
So
tomorrow we're actually going to go to Italy.
Yes.
Yes, and it's like 5 hours away. We're going to get up and we're going to drive there with our friends, shop all day. I want to get some olive oil, pasta. What else are we getting there?
We're driving 5 hours.
Oh, and like pumpkin seed oil over here is like you never thought. I'm going to buy it. Like they use it on ice cream, and it is scrum delicious and good for you.
And in soup.
And in soup, pumpkin soup.
Talking about versatile.
Oh my, yeah, versatile. It's organized oil.
Wow.
So anyway,
Wow.
so this trip tomorrow is going to be a really fun trip and shopping and eating. And you like gelato.
Not a little. A
lot of gelato. So anyway.
I said it.
So, hey, you've been so good on your first Facebook Live.
Thank you. Thank you for
good.
Thank you for allowing me to crash it.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
So anyway, you can see. I'll see if I can. I can't. If I get disconnected, know that we don't have a lot of internet here. So just look around here. We're in this village called the House, and
Gorgeous.
yeah. Just if I can get over here a little bit before I just tell these people bye. Let's see. The people have like apple trees in their backyard. I picked apples yesterday, and they have cherry trees. We actually went to go pick up milk today at the milk
At the farm.
at the farm and eggs. And I thought it was real interesting. Their eggs come in like counts of 10 versus 12, and it's just so cool. They're different ways to do things. And it should snow here. Like they said, it should snow like in the next week or two. It was snowing in the forecast this week, but it hasn't snowed yet. But anyway, it's beautiful here, and I love it. So anyway, guys, well, it's been awesome to see you guys. We will be back soon. And thanks for listening to our Tip Tuesday. Make sure you make comments below for you to win that 1 hour phone consultation with me on the phone to get you organized. And don't forget, if you need organizing services or Christmas decorating services for your home, we cover the DFW, East Texas, Tyler area, and the Oklahoma City area. Bye, guys, and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.